ठीक है सर।
That's not more than that.
अपार्ट फ्रॉम आज और भी कोई है क्या? मेरे पास 5 बजे तक आया है डिप्लॉयमेंट के लिए। मेरे पास
सर आ जाइए आप
करके परेशान कर रहे हैं।
हॉट सीट पे आप आ सकते हैं सर।
Let me see my
एक मिनट वेबिनार यूजर ये तो यही नहीं आ रहा यार।
क्यों?
क्या
आएगा सर।
पंकज सर नहीं आ रहे क्या?
पंकज अरोड़ा वेलकम। Have to show this final जो है ना, have to select this. Yeah.
तो जब आप रेडी हो बता देना, मैं आपको थोड़ी सी चीज़ बता दूँ।
Yeah, I am ready.
ज्वाइन करोगे?
Yeah.
हाँ, you can also join.
म्यूट कर निकाल देता हूँ। I don't have link.
सर जो यहाँ पे दिखेगा ना आपको अभी के लिए वही व्यूअर्स को दिखेगा।
ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है।
And just to inform you sir, we are also live streaming on YouTube also.
That's okay.
YouTube is not accessible from us.
नहीं सर को पता होना चाहिए सर, सोशल मीडिया पे जा रहे हैं।
हाँ ठीक है, that's
वो
okay.
तो अनसॉलिसिटेड एरिया है ना।
ठीक है।
Okay.
You can minimize this.
This is our tool sir. And okay. I have just started your video. Just to check. ये भी प्रैक्टिस सेशन चल रहा है पूरा।
ठीक है।
So this is how you are looking as of now sir. कैसे सर?
प्रभाकर, मैंने आपको प्रेजेंटेशन कर दिया सर। मैंने इसमें ना हेल्प मेन्यू से संबंधित 3 स्लाइड जोड़ी हैं, जिसमें कि YouTube का लिंक है, सोशल वो
दे दीजिए। वो नहीं है मेरे पास, तो वो स्लाइड्स कहाँ हैं?
सर मैंने प्रेजेंटेशन में जो मैंने आपको दिया वो सर के उस पे
सर आपको मेरे
मैंने सर आपको मेल कर दिया अभी
प्राइवेट मेल पे भेजनी पड़ेगी।
हैं?
यहाँ से मेरा आउटलुक
लो प्राइवेट मेल पे भेज देते।
ये प्राइवेट नहीं, मेरे पेन ड्राइव में दे दीजिए।
अच्छा, पेन ड्राइव में सर मैंने आपको मेल कर दिया है GSTN
बस खाली
बिल्कुल बस ओके। वॉइस भी आपका एक्टिवेट है सर, दोनों चीजें आ रही हैं इस वक्त।
क्या ये एकदम काला आ रहा है यार।
वो लाइट के कारण लग रहा है, दूर से डिस्टेंस
सर दूर से देख रहा होगा।
हाँ, ये अच्छा दिख रहा है। ठीक है। गुड आफ्टरनून लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, दिस इज निर्मल कुमार, सीनियर वाइस प्रेसिडेंट गुड्स एंड सर्विस टैक्स, and I will be talking about the use of digital signatures in GST system.
परफेक्ट सर, बिल्कुल।
और सर वो थोड़ा सा स्टार्ट तो उससे करेंगे, फाइलिंग के लिए जरूरत है, मतलब कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट साइन करने के लिए, बस थोड़ा सा उसके सिग्निफिकेंस बताते हैं।
ठीक है
ना, बस बाकी तो
सर आप क्योंकि बहुत सारे मीडिया शेयर करने वाले हैं, तो जब भी आपको शेयरिंग शुरू करनी हो ना सर, यहाँ पे शेयर पे क्लिक करना है एंड जस्ट क्लिक ऑन शेयर डेस्कटॉप। मैं करके जाऊंगा आपके साथ।
ठीक है।
इससे ये होगा सर, जैसे ही आप डेस्कटॉप पे क्लिक कर देते हैं ना, आपका पूरा सिस्टम शेयर हो जाता है।
हाँ, सिस्टम शेयर कर दीजिए, कोई बात
पूरा
नहीं।
अब आप जैसे यहाँ पे स्क्रीन चेंज करेंगे, वहाँ पे स्क्रीन अपने आप
हाँ, तुम वो पीपीटी कॉपी करके दे रहे हैं, 1 मिनट जरा।
तो यहाँ पे आप कुछ भी अप डाउन करेंगे तो यू विल सी सेम थिंग्स हैपनिंग ओवर देयर।
ठीक है ना, तो आई वांट दिस। ये वाला जरा, ही इज गिविंग मी अ रीसेंट कॉपी।
ये वो चेक कर लीजिए।
प्रभाकर तुम्हारे से हुआ ना तो मुझे अपना वो बताओ जल्दी से।
प्रभाकर शर्मा 83। प्रभाकर शर्मा 83।
प्रभाकर शर्मा 83।
यस, जीमेल पे PRABHAKARSHARMA
हाँ
नंबर 8 नंबर 3 gmail.com। सर Q&A कौन देख रहा है आज?
वो देखना पड़ेगा हमारे तरफ से।
सर समवन
he can look at the Q&A। हाँ, he can
सर
look।
आप लॉग इन ही कर लो, मैं आपको पैनलिस्ट ही बना दूंगा एंड यू कैन आंसर साइमल्टेनियसली। सर आपके इसी में ना ओके
मुझे लिंक चाहिए।
ये सेक्शन आता है सर Q&A का, जैसे कोई भी क्वेश्चंस पूछते हैं वो यहाँ पे आते रहेंगे सर, पूरी लिस्ट बनती रहेगी।
ठीक है,
एंड साइमल्टेनियसली इफ यू वांट्स यू कैन आंसर लाइव देयर।
ठीक है ना, हाँ ठीक है।
और अगर आपको कोई क्वेश्चन अच्छा लगता है कुछ जो आप मास को बताना चाहेंगे, यू कैन पिक एंड से कि आई एम आंसरिंग दिस क्वेश्चन।
ठीक है, ठीक है, वो दे दिए जरा, हो गया।
अगर कुछ भी इंपॉर्टेंट होगा ना सर, इफ आई हैव टू कम्युनिकेट एनीथिंग टू यू, मैं इधर लिखूंगा।
हाँ लिख दीजिए, लिख दीजिए।
अगर यहाँ से मैं पूरा फीडबैक ले रहा हूँ, कोई कहेगा कि अगर स्लो जाना है, फास्ट जाना है, कुछ डिस्ट्रक्शन आ रहा है, इंटरप्ट यू फ्रॉम देयर।
हाँ नमस्ते प्रवीण जी, ये बताइए तो डिजिटल सिग्नेचर का जो मैंडेट है जीएसटी सिस्टम में, वो रूल्स में है क्या? और रूल 16 ऑथेंटिकेशन में टेक्स्ट नहीं, खाली रूल बता दिया ना, रूल बता देंगे, कोई बात नहीं है। ठीक है, ठीक है, ठीक है, ओके ओके।
पीडीएफ अलग मैंने भेज दिया था आपको,
कॉपी कर दिया
है सर?
कॉपी कर दिया।
सर केएमएस पे ये वाली प्रेजेंटेशन करानी है?
रेखा आ जाओ जरा। रेखा ये पीडीएफ जो हमने कन्वर्ट कर दिया था ना पीपीटी में, जरा इसको कर दो सर। पीडीएफ वाला तो ले लो तब तक आपको।
नहीं पर मैं पीपीटी चाहिए ना मुझे तो।
हाँ
पीपीटी तो सर इसमें थी ना ऑलरेडी।
इसमें कॉपी नहीं की क्या? उसी को कर दिया क्या?
नहीं, मैंने इसको सेव करने के बाद भी तो किया।
देखो फिर कहाँ है
आपने
कहाँ पे आपने रख दिया पीपीटी?
हाँ मिल गया सर, दे रहा हूँ आपको। लाइव दीजिए सर। रेखा जरा रिसेप्शन पे पानी के लिए कह दो सर। कॉफी लेंगे?
हाँ कॉफी दे दो।
हाँ,
कॉफी
पानी और कॉफी प्लीज, इससे जरा क्या कह देना।
मुझे खाली नोट्स थोड़ा एक बार देखना पड़ेगा। वो आ ले आए तो वो दे रहे हैं ना, पीडीएफ पीपीटी दे रहे हैं एक बार।
दे रहा हूँ सर।
सर आप ज्वाइन कर लो, मुझे लिंक चाहिए, लिंक भेज दो। रंजीत सर अपनी मेल आईडी बताओ। सब अपने
वीक 2 के नाम से है ना, आगे सब वही है। वेबिनार 27 और वीक
2 एफ हाँ V2 ना।
इसमें आखिरी की 4 स्लाइड देख लीजिए सर, जो अलग से मतलब वो डाल दिया
एक मिनट देख लेता
बस लिंक्स हैं उसमें और कुछ नहीं।
RANJEET.kumar आगे
ये रहा। हाँ
आखिरी की 4 स्लाइड देखिए सर जरा। बाकी हमने कुछ इसमें
हाँ ये डाल दिया, थैंक यू।
बस ये डाल दिया है ना।
ठीक है,
तो इसको आप एलाबरेट कर दीजिएगा सर प्लीज। है
ठीक है,
थोड़ा
तो
मतलब फिलर भी मिल जाएगा टाइम का थोड़ा सा और वो भी हो जाएगा। लिंक्स लाइव है, इसको आप क्लिक करेंगे तो सीधे खुल भी जाएगा
ठीक है।
अगर आप कुछ भी दिखाना चाहें। ठीक है सर।
हाँ,
सर देखो मेरा
ये यूट्यूब और आस्क जीएसटी वो सब भी दे दिया, ट्विटर हैंडल वगैरह सब।
जूम सही होगा।
ऑल द बेस्ट सर।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
पानी वगैरह।
रंजीत वो देखो जरा पहले वाला, वो कैसे कहाँ से आ रहा है वो नोट्स वाला
अच्छा
देखो।
क्वेश्चंस मेरे को उसको क्वेश्चन देखेंगे।
तो स्क्रीन
हाँ, शेयर करना पड़ेगा, स्क्रीन कैसे शेयर
तभी
करें?
होगा ना। सर लुकिंग फॉर नोट्स जो नीचे जो है लिखा होगा इस पे नहीं आएगा।
इस पे नहीं आएगा मतलब
टू डिफरेंट स्क्रीन, एक शेयर एक नट ये करना कहाँ है?
हाँ, हाँ,
है क्या?
डुप्लीकेट या कहीं पे कुछ ये करना है।
डुप्लीकेट करना पड़ेगा ना।
हाँ डुप्लीकेट या एक्सटेंड करना पड़ेगा। डुप्लीकेट के लिए देखते हैं। नहीं आएगा, दूसरा स्क्रीन अटैच चाहिए ना यहाँ पे,
क्या चाहिए?
दूसरी स्क्रीन चाहिए
डुप्लीकेट पे कोई और
Extend-
स्क्रीन से तो टच ही नहीं कर रखा आपने।
तभी वो चाहिए आएगा।
पीसी स्क्रीन ओनली।
पीसी स्क्रीन में तो आपका है ही, पीसी स्क्रीन ही है।
हाँ, हाउ डू आई गेट द नोट्स, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम लुकिंग एट।
सर ये वाले नोट्स,
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ,
सर ये वाले नोट्स तो मतलब
ठीक है।
रिज्यूम स्लाइड मोड में थोड़ी ना आएंगे।
हाँ, ठीक है।
आती है मतलब दूसरा हम लोग शेयरिंग या प्रोजेक्ट
कैसे?
प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं तभी आता है वो।
बैडमिंटन दे देना है, दे दिया।
मैं इधर खोल कर दे दूंगा मेरे पास है व्यू ऑफ।
या फिर उधर आप खोल लीजिए।
हाँ, यहाँ खोल के दिखा दो ना, यहाँ पे तुम खोल दो, ठीक है ना, पीपीटी है ना। ठीक है, तुम इधर आके बैठ जाओ, ठीक है।
मैं इधर आ जाऊंगा।
हाँ, हाँ, वो कुछ चला दो पीपीटी, दैट्स इट, हो गया ना काम। पीपीटी है ना तुम्हारे पास?
आपने जो दिया था वो तो
हाँ, वही वाला बस काफी।
ऑन ही है।
हाँ, दैट्स गुड एनफ। खोल दो पीपीटी, खोलो। क्या दिख रहा है?
ये नोट चाहिए।
हाँ, हाँ, हाँ,
बड़ा चाहिए तो बड़ा कर
बड़ा कर दो जरा, बड़ा कर दो बस।
नहीं सर 4 मिनट है अभी बस।
ठीक है, दैट्स ऑल।
ठीक है।
हाँ, हाँ, तुम कर देना।
और चाहिए
ये इतना जरूरत नहीं।
कोई होगा तो बड़ा और भी कर दूंगा।
ये नहीं, नीचे वाला ये नहीं चाहिए।
यही चाहिए ना?
ये नहीं चाहिए।
मतलब कि नीचे जितने
हाँ,
नोट्स में दिखाने के लिए बात कर रहा
हाँ,
हूँ।
हाँ, ये तो बंद हो गया यार, ये तो चार्ज करना पड़ेगा। चलो
ठीक है जैसे कर देता हूँ।
सर मैं सिर्फ 1 मिनट में इंट्रोड्यूस करके विल हैंड। तो मैंने उस पर ध्यान रखना, हमारी ऑलरेडी 100 के करीब आने लगे हैं ना मेरे पास।
आगे वेरी गुड।
लाइव दिया नहीं है, तो लाइव करते हुए देखो। बीटा से
कोई क्वेश्चन आप मतलब इस पे भी जैसे रिप्लाई
Good afternoon, everyone. A very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome back to another session on digital signature certificate. So this is one of our series session in GST portals. Today's session will be taken by Shri Nirmal Kumar. He's a Senior Vice President, Software Development. And I hope this is going to be a thrilling and exciting session. Before we hand over to the presenter, some ground rules. If you have any question, refrain from asking the chat box. There is a question and answer section where you can always raise a question. All the questions we will try to pick up during the session only. Anything which is left unanswered, we will answer them back on our KMS portal. That's kms.nhd.in. The session is also live telecasted on the YouTube. So if you are unable to join the session or one of your friend is unable to join it, you can always refer back to Digital India Learning YouTube portal. Not taking much of your time, I will hand it over to Shri Nirmal sir.
Okay. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Nirmal Kumar, Senior Vice President of Software Development, and we'll be talking about the registering and the using of digital signature certificate at the GST portal. The first and the foremost question that arises: why do we need a digital signature certificate at the GST portal? It is mandated in the registration and the return rules that when a taxpayer files his compliance or comes to the GST portal to register himself, he is mandated to use a digital signature. So in view of that, I'll be explaining to you or helping you with what are the details of the digital signatures, what are the prerequisites to register a digital signatures, how do you go to the GST portal to register a digital signature, how do you update a digital signature, what are the components of the signatures, and in case you face issues at the GST portal, how do you troubleshoot to fix the digital signature issue? The first and foremost question that comes to a taxpayer mind is, what is a digital signature? A digital signature is like a handwritten signature which establishes the identity of the sender. When he files his compliance document, like physical documents signed manually, electronic documents, for example, e-forms, are required to be signed digitally through a digital signature certificate. What are the types of digital signatures like? What are the types of digital signature certificates available in the market? And what is the type of digital signature that he can purchase to apply the digital signature on the GST portal? The digital signature certificates are essentially of four types. You have class 1 that is available in the market, class 2. Okay. It's essentially like if you look at it,
Sorry for the interruption. It seems there's a lot of echo in the sound system. We will take a minute over here just to fix it. Please bear with us.
मेरे सिस्टम से आ रहा है, मेरा सिस्टम तो म्यूट है.
Can you disconnect it?
Is the voice okay now? Can you mute yourself?
It's mute only. It's mute. Can you disconnect?
Yeah.
Hi. Is the voice okay now? We have just fixed the sound problem, so just want to know whether it's okay for all or not. Thank you. We will be starting here.
We'll start again. Okay.
Start afresh.
Okay. So this is Nirmal Kumar, Senior Vice President Software Development. And I'll be talking about the registration and the use of digital signature certificate at the GST. I would like to thank Sri Pankaj Arora and Rajiv Agrawal ji for giving me this opportunity to talk about the use of digital signature certificate at the GST portal. I'll be talking about what is a digital signature. Why do you need the digital signature at the GST portal? How do you go about registering a digital signature certificate or updating a digital signature certificate at the GST portal? What are the various components of an EM signer or the digital signature certificate? How do you troubleshoot the digital signature certificate issues when you try to sign an application at the GST portal? Now the question is, what is a digital signature certificate? A digital signature certificate is equivalent of a handwritten signature which establishes the identity of the sender filing the documents. Like physical documents are signed manually, electronic documents, for example, e-forms, are required to be signed digitally. Let me give you an example. A digital signature certificate is more secure than a normal signature because when you sign the electronic forms manually, the data that a digital signature certificate. And on GST portal, it has been mandated by the registration and return rules that you need a digital signature certificate to go and sign at the compliance registration forms or the return forms that you will be filling. Now the question arises is, what are the types of digital signature certificate the taxpayer has to purchase in order to meet his compliance requirements at the GST portal? There are various kinds of digital signatures that is available in the market. So each class of digital signature certificate is associated with a specific security feature and corresponds to a specific level of trust. There are 4 classes of certificates which the certifying authorities may have issued. The class 1 certificate is issued merely on the position of an email ID or a mobile number, and that is used for signing of encryption or signing of public documents. The class 2 certificate, which is used for both personal and business purposes, and the class 3 certificate that is issued to individuals and is considered to be more secure, as the person has to himself go and appear before the CA before he is issued a class 3 DSC. Now we have come up with another type of certificate that is called the Aadhaar eKYC or the OTP or the biometric certificate. Aadhaar OTP class of certificate shall be issued to individuals used based on OTP authentication or subscriber through Aadhaar eKYC. So on the GST portal, you have to go and procure a class 2 or a class 3 PAN-based digital signature. Now the question comes is, how do you go and where do you go and purchase the digital signature? You have to go from and procure the digital signatures from one of the certifying authorities who issues the digital signature certificate. Certifying authority means a person who has been granted a license to issue a digital signature certificate under the section 20 signature certificates. So you should go to the CCA website, that is the Controller of Certifying Authorities, and look at the website, and which will list down all the vendors who sells the digital signature certificates. There are certain prerequisites of DSC security. You should keep the media carrying the digital signature signature safely and do not disclose your password to anybody. Now the question arises is, what if the signature certificate is lost? These signature certificates are password protected and cannot be copied from a digitally signed document. Now a taxpayer or a common man gets confused if you look at it. Like if you look at it, what are the components that is used in signing a document? When you procure, now I assume that you have procured a digital signature certificate from one of the certifying authorities, and what happened is, one of my friends, he purchased a dongle, and then he applied the dongle on his desktop and he was not able to use it. The dongle itself was not being recognized by the computer. So he called one of the person, and then he was able to find out there is something called a device driver. Now, the device driver is a software program which has to be installed so that the operating that you're attaching to the desktop or your laptop. Now you also need a browser so that you can sign the application. You also need to download the EM signer, that is the current version 2.6 that we are using on the portal. You have to download it from the GST common portal and install it on your laptop or the desktop on which you have to sign it. The EM signer acts as a bridge between the GST application software and the dongle, and also it creates a secure tunnel so that the signed information from your dongle gets transferred to the GST application. You also need the certificate work. The following are the steps to install the digital signature certificate or the EM signer. For downloading and installing the web installer, you have to perform the following steps. Download the WebSocket installer from the DSC registration page. Double click on the EM signer executable file. The EM signer setup assistant wizard will get displayed. You have to click on the next button. Then to install the EM signer in the default folder created under the program, click on the next button. The EM setup page is displayed. Click the install button to begin the installation process. At the end, click on the finish button to exit the setup wizard. Now, if you look at the EM signer, you have open file location, you have Tortoise SVN, run as administrator. So here you have to run the EM signer in run as administrator mode. So once you run the EM signer in run as administrator mode, a message indicating the start of the EM signer service is displayed. Click on the OK button. On successful setup of the digital signature, a signer window will be displayed. So you can see that the server configured on port 1585. Congrats, EM signers started successfully. Now, once you have started the EM signer, you have to go and register the digital signature certificate on the GST portal. Now the question is, as per the registration and the return rules, the following category of taxpayer has been mandated to sign the registration or the return compliance forms using the digital signature certificate. It's or a public sector undertaking. All these types of undertaking are mandatorily supposed to use digital signature. In order to register the DST, the digital signature certificate at the GST portal, you have to perform the following steps. You have to go to the new registration, select the temporary reference number. Once you give the temporary reference number, you have to enter the TRN, the temporary reference number, and then click on the proceed button. You can see that the screen where you have to enter the temporary reference number. Then an OTP will come on your mobile and on your email, which is valid for 10 minutes. You have to enter the OTP and then click on proceed. Or alternatively, you can go to the user services register update DSC command. In case of existing registration, log into the GST portal with valid credentials. Go to the My Profile link, click on Register Update DSC link. The registered digital signature certificate page will be displayed of the authorized signatory drop-down. Select the PAN of the authorized signatory that you want to register. Select that I have downloaded and installed the EM Signer checkbox. Click on the proceed button after selecting the authorized signatory. Then a dialog box will appear which has the contents to sign. So this dialog box, in order for this dialog box to appear, you need the Java applet. The Java applet runtime version has to be installed in order for this component to render. Select the name of the person and click on sign. Once you sign, you will be asked to enter your private key. After you enter your private key, your DSC will be successfully registered at the GST portal. Now I would like to show you a small video of registering the DSC at the GST portal. Yeah. There's no sound.
After installing the
Oh.
Signer plugin, make sure that you have installed the DSC on your computer as per steps given by the DSC issuing authority. Once the DSC is installed, it will become available for registering with the GST portal and linking it with the respective authorized signatory configured in your GST profile. To do that, start by logging in to the GST portal and ensure that the dashboard screen is displayed. Click the downward arrow besides your username to open the profile menu and select the Register or Update DSC option. From the next screen that appears, open the drop-down list to select the PAN of the authorized signatory for whom you wish to register the DSC. Select the desired authorized signatory from the list. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'll select installed the DSC on your computer as per steps given by the DSC issuing authority. Once the DSC is installed, it will become available for registering with the GST portal and linking it with the respective authorized signatory configured in your GST profile. To do that, start by logging in to the GST portal and ensure that the dashboard screen is displayed. Click the downward arrow besides your username to open the profile menu and select the Register or Update DSC option. From the next screen that appears, open the drop-down list to select the PAN of the authorized signatory for whom you wish to register the DSC. Select the desired authorized signatory from the list. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'll select Aurora T. Raj. Next, check the box to confirm that you have downloaded and installed the mSigner plugin on your computer and click the Proceed button to continue. The mSigner window will pop up, displaying the list of DSCs that you have installed. Assuming that the DSC of Aurora T. Raj is already installed, it will show up in the list as displayed. PAN associated with the selected DSC against the PAN of the authorized signatory that was selected from the list. If both PAN matches, the system will display a confirmation message indicating that the selected DSC has been successfully registered. Aurora T. Raj can now use his DSC in the GST portal. It's that simple.
Thank you for watching this small clip on how to register the DSC. The next step would be, in case you want to re-register the DSC or update it, the following are the steps to update the digital signature certificate at the GST portal. You have to go to the gst.gov.in, the GST portal website. You have to log in with the valid credentials. go to my profile link, click on the register update DSC link certificate, and then click on the update button. Okay, now then you have to click on the continue button. Once you click on the continue button, you have to select the sign button, enter your private key, and then you can register, and then your DSC will be registered successfully. I will also show you a small clip on the updation of the digital signature certificate.
To update a DSC, you need to first acquire a new and valid DSC and install it on your computer. Assuming that you have already installed the mSigner plugin and a valid DSC. To update a DSC, you need to first acquire a new and valid DSC and install it on your computer. Assuming that you have already installed the mSigner plugin and a valid DSC on your computer, start by logging in to the of the authorized signatory for whom you wish to update the DSC. Select the desired authorized signatory from the list. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'll select Aurora T. Raj. Since this user already has an old DSC registered in the system, the portal will detect that and show the option to either view the certificate or to update it. Go ahead and click the Update button. Click Continue and select the newly installed DSC from the list that appears in the mSigner window. Assuming that a new DSC of Aurora T. Raj is already installed, I'll select it here and click the Sign button. Remember, the GST portal will validate the PAN associated with the selected DSC against the PAN of the authorized signatory that was selected from the list. If both PAN matches, the system will display a confirmation message indicating that the selected DSC has been successfully updated. Aurora T. Raj can now continue to use his DSC in the GST portal. It's that simple.
Thank you for listening to the updation of the small clip for the updation of the digital signature certificate. I have already explained or told you about the digital signature certificate. Why do you need a digital signature certificate? How do you go to the GST portal to register a digital signature certificate? How do you update a digital signature certificate? The last part of the journey to the explaining about the digital signature certificate is what if you land up into errors? What if you are facing errors in registering the digital signature certificate or applying the digital signature certificate in the registration or the plugin to the token and click on proceed to proceed and signing? What should you do? Now, if you look at the digital signature certificate that you have procured, there are two components to the digital signature certificate. It has an encryption certificate and it also has a signature certificate. So what happens is when you run the EM signer and when you are trying to enter the private key and submit, the encryption certificates get the priority. And when the encryption certificate gets the priority, your digital signature certificate is missing. So now what we have to do is we have to go to the certificate tab. You have to go to the internet options, go to the content tab, click on the certificate button, click on the view usage button. And if you look at the key usage as key encipherment, so you have to remove that certificate from your browser. The second issue that you may face is, what if I am facing a PAN number verification failed? What do I do? If you are facing this error, you need to check the PAN details in the DSC. You can only apply or use the DSC of the authorized signatory, and if the digital signature is registered on the GST portal. So this is the error message that you get. The PAN number verification failed. Please select the valid certificate to sign. What if you are getting if you are facing the error, fail to establish connection to the server, kindly restart the EM signer. So there are two common issues that this error comes up. If you are not starting the EM signer in the administrator mode, or the EM signer is not able to find the desired port. So what happens is the EM signer starts up a new port like the 1585 in order to have a secure tunnel between your dongle and the applications. The fourth category of error that you may get is the applet where the contents of the EM signer is displayed to come up. So if you have not installed the Java runtime environment, you have to go to the 1.6 Java runtime environment and install the plugin. What if you are getting the error, selected certificate to sign? You have to approach your vendor to procure a PAN-based class 2 or a class 3 digital signature certificate and also register it at the GST common portal. If you are facing the error, the sixth category of error is if you are trying to attach the digital signature certificate and the digital signature certificate is not registered at the GST portal. It will give you an error message. The DSC you are trying to fix is not registered at the GST portal. You have to go and update or register your digital signature certificate at the GST portal. The most common issue that people face is the installation or the running of the EM signer. When you run the EM signer, most of the time the EM signer does not get the 1585 port. In order to establish a secure tunnel between the dongle and the browser, in that case you have to go and add the port number, that is the HTTPS 127.0.0.1 1588 as an exception to your browser. And the last category that is also frequently found by the taxpayers is that they have two versions of EM Signer installed on the computer. So you have to remove all the previous versions of EM Signer that has been installed. So you have to go and remove the likewise shown in the slide, the 1.2.0 version of the EM Signer. This slide shows how to add the security exception to your browser. You have to go and add this as an exception. At the end, I would like to give you 3 tips about the issues faced in signing the administrator mode, verify that you have added the exception for the 127.0.0.1 1585 port, delete the key encipherment certificate by going to the tools, internet options, content, certificate, select the certificate, key usage, and delete the key encipherment. We also have a taxpayer education help desk, that is the education on the GST portal to master trainers and the CBC and states. You can write to us at helpdesk@gst.gov.in. Most of the important informations about the return help is available at gst.gov.in help returns, and also about the offline tool, the gst.gov.help offline utility. You can also download the offline utility for filling the compliance requirement for GSTR1 using the URL gst.gov.in download returns. In case of any issues, you can contact us the help desk number 0120-488-999 or write to us at helpdesk@gst.gov.in. We also have social media channels of GSTN. These channels are extensively used by GSTN to assist taxpayers and other stakeholders. We keep regularly looking at the Twitter handle, Ask GST Tech, and keep answering to the questions raised by the taxpayers. And also we have the YouTube channels and the Facebook. These are the Facebook URL. You can go to the facebook.com, GST Systems India, or YouTube channel UCF, or to the Twitter account, twitter.com, Ask GST Tech.
Some questions, take some questions. Sir.
Yeah,
Some questions.
thank you. Where are the questions here? QA.
Whatever is your choice.
Yeah. Okay, I will take some questions. I have managed to file GSTR 3B for the month of July and August without any issue. What's the reason and how to file GSTR 1 for July month? Please clarify. The issue that you have raised is not related to GSTR 1 filing, or it is not related to GSTR 1 digital signature certificate. This issue is occurring for few of the taxpayers, and when you sign the GSTR 1 return document, it is giving you access denied error. It is something to do with the programming error, which we are looking and we will fix it. The second question, whether I can include one more authorized signatory now in GST to use that word.
Answer only DSC related questions.
Okay.
If there are any.
Got it. So whether I can include one or more authorized signatory now in GST to use %DSC. So yes, you can always include more than one authorized signatory to file the compliance requirements. Third question, is one DSC which is registered as a GST can't be used to another BGST who is same authorized signatory for both business?
Yes.
You want to take that, Ranjit?
Yes.
They can use it. I don't see any issue, isn't it? EM Signer does not work on my computer. I have tried on Mac and PC. I have tried IE and Chrome. If you look at the current version of EM Signer 2.6, it works on all the platforms. Can I use DSC into Mac system?
At present, we are not supporting this.
Presently.
Presently, we are not supporting.
We have to look at the EM signer version, and present version of the EM signer is not, the present version of the EM signer is not compatible with Mac.
Yes.
It says fail to establish connecting to the server. Kindly restart the IM signer. Restarting does not solve the issue. What I would say is, okay, in this case, whatever I explained to you is, it is not getting the 1585 port. So the URL that I mentioned in the compliance documents. Fail to establish connection to IM signer. Kindly restart. What is this? It is the same question. Okay, Abhishek Mishra. It is the same question as that of Shaurabh Jain. You are not able to get the 1585 port. So once you get the 1585, because in order, the EM signer establishes a secure tunnel to your dongle. It is not able to get that port in order to secure that connection, and so that it can exchange the certificates. When I file GSTR1 from the Internet Explorer, the message is displayed access denied. And when I do the same through in Google, it goes next page and select the file with DSC, but I'm unable to sign the return. This is the same form. This is not a digital signature issue. This is to do with the GSTR1 code. My EM signer has started successfully. Still, I receive message to restart it. I am unable to attach my DSC. If you are unable to attach your DSC, there are two reasons for it. Your EM signer has not started successfully, or not able to get the port, or the device driver that that is used by your operating system to recognize your dongle is not installed. If by mistake we have paid amount as interest, can it be adjusted next one toward the payment of GST? This is not related to the digital signature certificate, and I would not take this question.
Just read first. If it is related, then answer.
Okay. I have update a DSC prime. I have a update in primary DSC primary number. That's okay. He can always go and register a DSC. I have registered DSC successfully and got message. When I try to file return using it takes ages to process, and finally I had to abort. Using EBC, I filed the return. No, there is either one of the steps. Like, you have to follow the troubleshooting steps in order to sign the digital signature certificate, to find the GSTR1 successfully. Okay. While registering DSC, error is shown in port level. I check another systems also. Please help. To help in DSC proper operation. There are so many YouTube's help available to let you sign your application successfully. And also this webinar will help you in signing your application successfully, where we have included about 7 tips to sign the application successfully. How to change in DSC primary DSC name because of employee has left and updated. This is not related to DSC, and I would not like to take this question. I am unable to file my GSTR1 return for the month of July. What should I do now? I'm using Windows 8 Internet Explorer 11. Please grant me solution even if I change my password. See, this is not related to DSC. When I'm submitting okay.
Read silently and then take
okay. Got it. I got the message like failed to establish connection to the EM signer. Kindly restart the EM signer. Click to troubleshoot. How to resolve this? Now, if you have got failed to establish the connection, it is clear that the EM signer is not getting the port 1585. Subhash Sharma ji, you have to go and add the URL that I mentioned, add an exception. Once you go and add the URL as an exception, your EM signer will start successfully. No, I am getting error while registering DSC. There is message showing you have no submissions. No. Can you, because this error does not look relevant to me, because even if you have no submissions and you have filled in the part B of your form and the authorized signatory details, you should be able to go and register your DSC. The question that has been asked by Ranganathan Modle is, I read the question. It is clear that you have to add the URL as an exception. Able to sign your application.
How to add exception to port 1585?
Okay, I will show that, isn't it? How to, because it is already mentioned in this step by step that you go and type the URL at the browser. Once you go and type the URL, if the browser does not recognize that URL, it will itself give you that it is not secure. You add it as an exception and you go and click on the add exception button and you will be able to do it. Is DSC mandated for proprietary firms? So this is a functional question. Okay, so I've answered more. I've taken most of the question. The next step would be I would like to show them. I would like to sign an application and then show them.
Yes, please.
That would be the last step. I would like to log in here. How do I log in here? No, I have to log in, log out from here, and then here log out. Oh. Yeah. Can you minimize this? Can you just minimize this? Yeah. It's coming. Yeah. I filled in my registration form. I will go to the verification tab. Click here. Select the authorized signatory. Place is Delhi. Submit with DSC. Oh. Oh, unable to connect to the installed EM signer. Please check other application. So let me see whether my DSC, my EM sign is running. I will go and run my EM signer. I will run the EM signer in administrator mode. Yeah, you can see that the EM signer has started successfully. Let me open the EM signer. Yeah, it has got the port 1585. Then I go to my application, submit with DSC again. Looks like it got the port. Yes. Now you just select the certificate, sign. Enter your private key. And then enter. Yeah, wow, it's you can see that I have used the digital signature certificate to successfully sign the registration application. And also you can see that it gave a valid error message. And after I started the EM signer in the administrator mode, I was able to sign it successfully. Thank you, viewers. That's it.
Also on YouTube too. Before we sign off, I would like to show you how you can fetch the presentation and the webinar video from our KMS portal. I will be sharing my screen. Just give me a minute. So you have to open your internet browser. You could be using Internet Explorer, Mozilla, or Chrome. Once you have opened your browser, you have to type in kms.negd.in.